My name is Chelsea and welcome back to my channel. For today's video, we're going to be talking about my favorite contemporaries. In honor of Contemporary-a-thon, which is actually starting today, I decided to let you guys know some of my favorite contemporary books. I do not read contemporaries all that often. I do find that I prefer like sci-fi, fantasy, paranormal, horror, those kind of things more. However, I have had some really great experiences with some contemporaries, and so I decided that I would share those with you today. These are in no particular order. They're basically just stacked here as I grab them off the shelf. So we're gonna jump right on in. The first ones that we have here is basically an author. So this is an independently published author. I do know that she has her ebooks on, I believe, Kindle and for Nook. I think you can also find them on the iTunes store, but these are for two different series. They are set in the same world. The first one here, the Ghostbird series, these are both in the Academy world, because I think that's what they used to be called. I think these were the Academy books, but now they're the Ghostbird books. That is a young adult series. This is all about a girl named Sang who has some real rough trouble at home, and she ends up going to a school where she meets some new guy friends, and they end up helping her with that. But those guys are also not completely what they seem. They have some sort of secrets as well. This first book is a very, very short one. I do believe this is absolutely for free as an ebook. This is a series that hooked me right away. It was something that was written in a way that I was very easily able to connect to the characters. It is a very long ongoing series right now. I think the, oh gosh, book 12 or 13 came out earlier this year. It is a young adult series, but I really, really enjoy it. This is also where I first got into, besides the manga reverse harem, normal reverse harem, which is a subgenre of romance. The second series that she has is the Scarab Beetle series. This is a new adult series that is set in the same world as Ghostbird. You can read them together or separately. There is a little bit of crossover between them, but this one does have more adult themes. This one follows our main character of Kaylee, who has a sort of abusive father and is trying to put money on the table. However, because she is not the most educated person, she decided to do that by pickpocketing. One day she ends up getting caught by a group of guys that, you guessed it, is from the Academy. That is how they are connected. And instead of facing jail time, she is going to be helping them on some sort of quest event thing that they are doing. Again, this starts off with some secrets for the boys. We don't fully know what is going on in this world. I think we get a little bit more revealed right away in this book as we go through subsequent books. I really enjoy these. There are some LGBTQ characters in this one specifically, and I just really, really enjoy them. They are fun. I think some people would probably call them like guilty pleasure reads, but I don't feel guilty about any of my books. So I just really enjoy them. The next one I want to talk about is Fence. This is by C.S. Picot and Joanna the Mad. This is actually a comic bind-up for this one here. They are released as individual issues as well. From what I have heard, I believe it's on C.S. Picot's Twitter, they are doing an ongoing series now of this, so I am super, super excited. I've only read the first 4 issues, which are in this one here, and I have fallen absolutely in love with it. This is all about a private school's fencing squad. All of the characters are trying to go into the fencing team. I think they can only take 3 people, and so there is a lot of rivalry and competition. And again, this one has LGBTQ characters, which I absolutely love. I also just love the art style on here. Joanna the Mad is somebody that I have been following for a while, I believe on Tumblr and then on Instagram, and so she was the main reason I found this. I did read C.S. Picot's other books and enjoyed them as well, but I think this is just amazing. Next we have The Fixes by Owen Matthews. This is a book that I read earlier this year and really, really enjoyed. This is not going to be a nice fluffy contemporary. There are some very dark themes here. This is more, to me personally, a sort of like Heathers for the current day type of book. We do have characters that are morally gray and they are not doing things for the best reasons. But I really enjoyed the way that this was written. This book does have a narrator who is, I think, a character that is looking onto the events from the past. So like, as we're reading this, they will give us little hints and things about what is going to come up, as if he knows what's going to happen already. Also, the chapters were just like really nice and short. It was very, very quick to read. Some of it was actually quite humorous, and I'm very interested to see what else this author does. Then we have one that seems to be almost everybody's favorite on BookTube, and that is The Hating Game by Sally Thorn. This is an adult contemporary. This is also a romance. It is an inter-office romance where we have two characters in the same business. They are in the publishing business, but they are going to be going for the same promotion. So they are rivals as well. I really just liked the character dynamics and how everything was growing in this story. This is one of those romances where you don't get physical right away, and for me that is perfect. I really liked the fact that they sort of went from enemies to lovers, and that is a trope that I am all for. And this is just a really, really good one. If you are okay with adult romance, I do think this is one that you should at least give a try. There's been a couple people that haven't liked it as much as everybody else, but I have heard overwhelmingly positive reviews, and I have to agree, I really, really liked the writing style and the characterization in this book. Then we have To All the Boys I Loved Before by Jenny Han. If you guys watched my, I think it was my wrap-up from couple months ago, I did read this. I didn't give it the best score, but I do think this is still really important for contemporaries, especially young adult contemporaries. This is about Laura Jean, who anytime that she loves somebody or has a crush on somebody, she writes them a letter, but those letters are not supposed to be seen by anybody, but one day they accidentally get sent out and shenanigans ensue. I really enjoyed the fact that this does have an Asian American protagonist. And even though I feel like I'm slightly too old for this sort of high school story, I did really like the character development that happened in the story, and the Netflix movie has come out, and I absolutely loved that. I do think this is one that is just a really nice, cute story that is still important because of the diversity in it. Speaking of diversity, the next book we have here is Draw the Line by Lauren Lin. This is a book that focuses on LGBTQ elements, specifically the fact that our main character is gay. Adrian, who is our main character, is a gay boy at his school. I am pretty sure he is closeted at the beginning of this book. It has been so long since I read it, but the main thing that I really enjoyed about this is that we have a contemporary story, but it gives us an element of almost a fantasy. Adrian is an artist and a writer. He writes like a web comic, and so throughout the book we get the story, but we also get like his art and his story that he is writing, which is based off of the real life events that are happening in this book. There is a different boy who is not Adrian, who is at the end of a hate crime because he is gay, and this is a sort of book that deals with Adrian's emotions about that happening in his small town in Texas because of the fact that he could have been that person, and it's sort of taking the stand of where you have to draw the line with those types of things. So this is a heavy-hitting contemporary, but it is broken up with those webcomic style pieces, which I really enjoyed. I absolutely love this one. And then we have All the Bright Places by Jennifer Niven. This is a book that I read when it was coming out. I probably am due for a reread again, but this is a very, very heavy-hitting and deals with very difficult topics type of contemporary. I am going to tell you right now, this has trigger warnings for self-harm, suicide, those kind of things. I just absolutely loved the characters and the emotions in here. This is definitely a book that I don't know if I would have picked up right away, except for the fact that it has a gorgeous cover, especially underneath. And while I have heard some mixed reviews for this book, for me personally, I liked seeing into the mindscape of everything that was going on here. This is currently being made into a movie, so I'm very interested to see where they go with that. And this is just one that literally had me bawling my eyes out at the end for quite a while. So anything that gives me a strong emotional feel is usually, in my opinion, a very good book. And then last but not least, we have Fangirl by Rainbow Rowell. I really, really enjoyed this one. This is about Kath, who is one half of a pair of twins who is going off to college, and while they are there they sort of find themselves drifting apart and they sort of have to figure that out. Kath is very introverted and she writes fan fiction, and so that is where our fangirl part comes into play. I know most people probably know about this, but out of the other books by Rainbow Rowell that are contemporary, this is the one that I relate to the most. I just really liked the familial relationships that are in this book that are dealt with, as well as the extra part of her being a little bit more introverted and geeky. I just really enjoyed this. I did want to say I enjoyed Carry On more because it is more of that fantasy element that I personally enjoy in books, but I really did enjoy this one. So those are the contemporaries that I wanted to share with you guys today. If you liked this video, give it a thumbs up to let me know. Leave me a comment down below letting me know if you have any contemporaries that you think I should read. Subscribe to this channel if you would like to see more videos. I do have videos up every Monday and Thursday, so I will see you then. Bye!